Hello, hello, internet denizens and heathens everywhere. How are you? Welcome to another AIMBOT. We're back. I hope you are doing well. I hope you are happy and enjoying your morning, evening, afternoon. I just got up, so it's a very good morning. It's great to be here. I hope you are well, and I'm going to have a sip of coffee because seriously, it's too early. Phantom, good to see you. Fantastic. Phantomastic. Yes, absolutely. So good to see everybody here. So if you haven't been here for the first time, what is AIMBOT? What can you look forward to? AIMBOT's basically, we're going to be applying secular humanism to everyday situations and instances that we find on Reddit posts to see if we can implement a little bit of morality. Now, all of this morality judgment is solicited. It is asked for. It's definitely consensual judging. I would never try and judge everybody. And do keep in mind, if you haven't participated or been in an AIMBOT show before, please do keep in mind that we don't know the whole story. There's always two sides to the story. So really, it's more the exercise in implementing morality than it is sort of judging people for their actions or not. But what I want to know is what you think and how you would approach this. I don't think there's one way to morality. There's only one way. I think that there's multiple ways to get to the same answer. And I've been very critical of people who have sort of said, well, you can't, for instance, that you can't be moral as a Christian, for instance. I think that's wrong. I don't think that is true. And they say we can't be moral as atheists, which I think is completely untrue as well. I think that people can arrive at the same conclusions, but like any answer, we want to have a reliable way to get to the correct one. And morality is sort of one of those things that is so complex. It's probably the most complex subject we can sort of talk about. But really, I'm looking at it from secular humanism, which sort of says, well, what's in the best? So utilitarianism, consequentialism. So we're really looking from my perspective over what's the best for human well-being, my own well-being, other people's well-being, society's well-being, everything that contributes to having healthy, happy, or at least content humans. So really, I don't have a problem. And I was having a really interesting conversation that I have to upload soon about, and it was with B.S. Lewis, about sort of somebody sort of saying, well, can Christians be moral from your perspective? And I sort of took the stance of sure. B.S. Lewis, he was a bit more nuanced. I do like him. He's a really cool guy. But the whole idea that you can't, you have to drop a god to be moral. And I think that my position is that if you want to come to the idea that humans are important, valuable, we need to sort of human well-being because your God commands you to, from a practical standpoint, I don't care how you get there. From a practical standpoint, if you have, if voices in your head have told you that human well-being is important, I don't really care that that's the case as long as you're working towards that goal. The problem comes with a belief in a God is that what the God wants often contradicts human well-being. Now, if you want to say, hey, well, sort of, because humanism started in religion, it was theistic humanism. It was people that were Christians that believed that God really wanted the best for humans. So whatever is best for humans, that's what God wants. Okay, that is what God wants. Okay, I don't believe in the God. I think that's completely wrong. But if you can say, well, the most important thing is human well-being, regardless of how it contradicts your book, or you interpret your book to fit with that, then I can work with that. We can just have a discussion of what's the best for humans. I think that it's when you are saying, well, God wants these things, and one of them happens to be human well-being, and that's sort of a secondary thing. Because if you think your God wants something other than human well-being, you will go towards that, and that's where the problem lies. Utilitarian. So human well-being is the utility. A lot of people that, if you've not encountered utilitarianism before, it basically is you'll have a utility, you'll have something that you're trying to promote. A lot of people, a lot of Christians, a lot of theists in general, Muslims misunderstand and say, "Oh, you're just after pleasure." That's not necessarily the case. It's not. It's not something I think. Oh, thank you, Pragmatic, and it's good to see you all. Just while I'm having my rant here, hey, Deviant, who we got? We've got John Fopiano. Good to see you, Ember. Good to see you. Oh, we've got Left-Handed Jedi, of course. So good to see you. I hope you're feeling well, mate. I really am. Anyway, let's get started. Yeah, that's sort of my rant on sort of. And I take it from a very pragmatic approach. Like, I don't think you can believe in a God and be the most sort of the most morally grounded you could be. I don't think that's possible. But really, from a pragmatic standpoint, there's a whole bunch of people that believe a whole bunch of stuff. And the question is, can we form a working society with them? Can we have a society that just gets along? You know, I mean, I idealistically, and in a perfect world, that everybody would treat human well-being and the well-being of each other as, you know, sort of what we want. But from a practical standpoint, I would just take getting along with everybody, you know, sort of just respecting everybody and getting along. I'd take that right now, quite frankly. So it's more a pragmatic thing. Big Bad Mama Hill Hugger, so good to see you. Top Tester, good to see you as well. Okay, let's go. Let's us go. I'll just get up the thing. Did I have my, yeah, I have my little notes here. Awesome. Okay. So this is Reddit's Am I the Arsehole? If you haven't been with us before, we're going through these situations, applying secular humanistic morality to them, and seeing if we can say who's right and wrong. But I always love when people say, "Hey, I think you're right, but for a completely different reason." And I love people saying, "Hey, I think you're wrong. I think, you know, I think differently." Totally think. Last week it was marriages all the way down, like it's from top to bottom, all about marriage. So hopefully we can have a different theme this week, because last week it was all marriages. There's some things that for some reason they're moral minefields, quite frankly. Marriages, right? So weddings, not the marriage itself, but the wedding kind of thing. It was weddings last week, all about weddings, 100% weddings. So weddings, family gatherings, Christmas is always a big one. Like, for some reason, there's always these moral quagmires that we go wading through. But first off, we've got Miserable Light. Okay. My morally bankrupt for asking my husband to prioritize our family tradition over his new friendship. Yeah, I've spoken about this before, and sort of the first impulse I have is kind of yes. Oh, I love that comment. Oh, that's yeah. Where are the owl fields? Like, why aren't you sharing? Wow, owl fields. I mean, really, it's weird that they call it a minefield, because when you lay it, you're hoping somebody else walks into it. So it's actually it's a someone else's field. Anyway, let's see. The family tradition. Any tradition, like traditions are, they're interesting things. And I see tradition as very helpful sometimes. It's sort of a way you've been doing things that has been working. So I do I do I do really see that tradition is useful because usually what we've done traditionally generally works. But what I don't see, oh hey Bree, good to see you. Good to see you. Um, I don't see a tradition being the reason for anything. So I think I said this last week. I used to work in a company, and you'd run into all of these policies that were just old policies that really didn't serve any purpose anymore. The reason for something to be done should not be, well, we've always done it that way, right? So if a tradition has a reason and provides something useful, that's great, and that's a good tradition to have. But the tradition itself is never a reason for doing anything. It should be, well, if the tradition is serving a purpose, great. If it's not, let it go. There's no point to it. Like, just, oh, well, that's the way we've always done things is not a reason for doing things. Now, if it is, hey, we've always had, say, a holiday on this and that helps people relax or unwind or celebrate something or has some kind of value, that's a totally different story. But if you're saying, hey, we've just always done it that way, so we should keep doing it, that's not a reason. That is not a reason. Oh, hey, Majestic, good to see you. Brainless Steel. Oh, no worries. Oh, I will put you to sleep, Brainless Steel. You wait. I will put you to sleep. You just wait. Just ASMR. ASMR time. You feel very drowsy. That was a bit husky. I do apologize. That I didn't mean to heavy breathe in your sort of quiet time. My husband, 35 male, and I, 32 female, have a small but meaningful tradition we started the first year we got married. It's nothing major, but it's important to me. Well, then it's major. Like, that's contradictory. It's nothing major, but it's important to me. Then it's important to you. It's major. I don't understand that. Every November, on the weekend before Thanksgiving, we take a day trip to this lakeside town about an hour away. We spend the day walking, talking, and picking out a new ornament for our Christmas tree, something that's meaningful to our year. It's just one day, but it's one of those things that makes the holiday season special for us. Yeah, I mean that's a tradition with a purpose. Um, my husband recently became great friends with this guy from his gym. They hit it off quickly, and I think it's great because my husband doesn't make new friends easily. He seems like a genuinely nice person and shares a lot of his interests, like hiking and gaming. And I know it's refreshing for my husband to have someone he clicks with so well. Here's the issue. My husband's friend invited him to go on a weekend trip for the exact same weekend as our tradition. Uh, okay. Are you going? My husband seemed hesitant to bring it up at first, but eventually he asked if I'd be okay with us rescheduling our tradition to another weekend so we go on this weekend with his friend. Yeah? Yeah, hey, Dave. Good to see you, mate. I didn't say they're a minefield. I said they're a moral minefield. Are you getting married, Deviant? Is it finally time for you? Um, I honestly, I have no idea if Deviant is ever already married or whatever. I understand. It's a joke. It's a joke. Deviant knows. Deviant knows. Um, what I don't get the problem with that. Why can't you move it? That it's not a great big deal. Oh, you are. Congratulations. Congratulations. Happy, you know, lots of happiness to you. Congratulations. Absolutely. Oh, I did not know that. Yeah, absolutely. Congrats. Oh, so Thursday last week. Oh, wow, awesome. That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. Oh, I love it. That's amazing. Congratulations. That's awesome. I love it. Well, it is a moral minefield, but you know, I'm sure you can navigate it. I'm absolutely sure it's totally fine. And it just I'm sure that you won't take it too seriously, but just keep in mind, communicate. Most of these situations are people not communicating. Essentially, that's what it comes down to: a lack of communication. And I think that's a shame. Okay. Um, I was caught off guard. I told him it kind of hurt my feelings that he'd even consider moving it. What? Why? Why? I mean, it's not like it's on the Christmas or anything. It's like one day. What? Like when we boil it down, what does the day actually matter? He told me it's not a big deal for us to go on another weekend. He's right in the sense that it doesn't affect anything logistically. Okay, okay, all right, all right, all right. So so both of them, he's sort of saying, "Hey, it's not a big deal to move it," and I think that that's a mistake. She may think it is a big deal. So, um, I would probably avoid these kind of statements like, "Well, it's not a big deal to do this." It depends on the person. It depends on what they think and when they do it. Um, I think sort of saying, "Yeah, I get that it's a really, it's really important to you, and I really want to do it on that day, but I would also love to do this, and I know it's a big ask, but can we please move it to another day?" I think sort of that would go over a lot well than saying, "Hey, it's not a big deal," because it's obviously a big deal for her. It obviously is. But this trip has always felt like our thing. Well, he's not saying you can't take the trip. It's not that I don't want him to have fun or make new friends, but I kind of feel like he's minimizing something that's special to us, or at least special to me. When I told him that, he looked surprised, then frustrated, saying I was overreacting. Yeah, you are. You 100% are. You 100% are. I Yeah. He ended up agreeing to keep the weekend for our tradition, but I could tell he was disappointed, and I feel guilty for that. Part of me wonders if I'm being stubborn about that little ritual, and maybe only I care about as much as I do. Um, I uh, does he even know it's a ritual? Which is a small but meaningful tradition. How meaningful? I don't know. I yeah. Oh, we've got updates too. Update. I saw some people asking how long we've married. We've married for 6 years and been doing this tradition to our first year together, always on the same weekend. Oh, look, I think that sort of um these traditions, I don't see any reason why you can't do it on a different day. A lot of people have asked why this specific weekend matters so much to me. I think it's because we've kept this tradition on the same weekend for over 6 years, and to me the timing feels like an integral part of the tradition itself. But does it really matter? That's the question. Like, does it actually matter? It's become a marker for the start of the holiday season in my mind, and changing it feels like losing some of the meaning behind it. I Update after a few hours. I want to thank everyone that shared my opinion. To talk to my husband again. Oh, that's the update. Okay, okay, okay. So I'll read that afterwards. After we do this, give me 1 second, and I'll start. If you haven't been here before, I will do a poll. I love to hear what people think and how wrong they think I am. Should post it. Have been upset. Look, stuff happens. Like, what happens. I think in marriage you kind of have to learn to be flexible and find compromise. right? So he's definitely willing to compromise. He's saying, hey, I know it's important to you. I really would like to do it, and we can do it on a different day. That's the compromise. He's saying, hey, I've been invited for this thing. It's something that I don't make friends easily. I don't, I'd like to go to this thing. I don't want to, like, I want to compromise and say, hey, I'll do it your thing on a different day. It sounds like part of it is she may be hurt that he doesn't find it as meaningful as she does, and that might be the case. He might not, but he's willing to compromise about it, which is good of him. But I think maybe you need to compromise as well, and say, hey, I would like it to be on this day, but can I compromise for another day? Marriage is all about compromise. It's all about, and people have told me, oh, marriage is all about sacrifice. No, absolutely not. No, no. Marriage isn't about sacrifice. It's about compromise. It's about both of you sacrificing some things in order so you can both be satisfied with the outcome. Like, instead of going, oh, well, I'm just going to give up everything because that's my wife, and not sort of do anything I want because I have to sacrifice. That's going to build resentment. No, instead you should be going, okay, well, I'll give up this and you give up this, and we can come to, hey, but I'll get this out of it and this out of it. It's odd. Is she going with you to this trip? I want to know if she's going, like, with you to a weekend trip for the exact same weekend. I don't know. I don't know. Oh yeah, absolutely. Left-handed Jedi. That thing. I gotcha. And I don't see why. Like, sort of, what happens if he gets sick on that day? Right, that's something unavoidable. You get sick. You can't go to your thing. What happens then? I want to know. Well, I think it's super nice your husband made a friend. He currently blinded by the honeymoon phase of friendship. Does he actually do the trip? He's kept the weekend open every year without me having to remind him. We always have a great time. That said, he hasn't explicitly said how important it is to him or how much he enjoys it. I've expressed to him how much it means to me, though, so I'm guessing it may feel more significant to me than it does him. Part of why I'm second guessing myself. Maybe I've been assuming we're on the same page about it being our thing without checking how it feels. In fairness, he's not saying he's not going to your thing. He's just saying, can we do it on a different day? I don't see that as a problem. Like, you're not saying, hey, we're not going to go do this. Like, I don't understand what about that particular weekend makes it more special than if it's the following weekend. I don't understand it. I really don't. Oh, congratulations, PC. Yeah, those river folk, they marry for life. Those river folk. And if you haven't seen Pragmatic Crystal's river videos, they're absolutely gorgeous. She lives a gorgeous life. That's just my opinion, but I will stand by it. Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that, Ems. So sorry. That sucks. I don't think necessarily you're an asshole, but I do wonder why it feels so bad to move it. Seems like you're in a position where you can have the wonderful thing that you want, and you can support him in having something he wants. Yeah. It's not your anniversary. You both have the power to choose when this happens. He wasn't asking you to cancel the tradition. He just wanted to have both. It was me personally. I don't think that I would be quite upset about it. I think I'd probably be happy to move it, given what you said about him having trouble making friends. Are you invited on this weekend away? Typically in relationships, I try not to treat situations as either or, whenever both is possible. Often in relationships, you are really forced to choose between two things that cannot coexist, both of which you want. in those moments you have to make sacrifices. Well, I would say compromises. When you make sacrifices, it's help. I guess both people are making sacrifices, but I'd rather see it as a compromise, sort of, yeah. When you make sacrifices, it's helpful to look back on all those wonderful times. So make as many wonderful times as possible and be generous in moments when it doesn't hurt anyone. Yeah, I like what this person is putting down. Yeah, I kind of do. I personally feel very put out when something is planned and established and it gets moved, especially if it's, oh, hey, Jess, so good to see you. Non-disclosed different date. Okay, well, I mean, so is something on a certain date special at all? I don't really think it is, to be honest with you. I'm not convinced that things necessarily are special because they're on a different date or because they're on a special date. I get the whole, my autistic brain gets the idea behind birthdays, like you're celebrating that day. I don't understand the significance of the day, though. I understand the significance of the celebration, but the day, it doesn't really make that much sense to me. And I kind of, I get why people do it, but if I had I wouldn't see a problem with having a birthday celebration a few days later. It doesn't worry me in the slightest. Like it doesn't faze me at all. My birthday stream this year, I did a birthday stream. It was a few days later. I don't care. I just don't care. If I see my brother and that, yeah, that's Jess, my intrepid reporter for the Great Emu War Report. That is the intrepid Jess. Oh. Okay, so you both know who each other are. Okay, so you're just trolling me, basically. Thank you for that. That's awesome. No, I love you both. You're awesome. You're absolutely awesome. But Jess did a great job. Can I just point out, if you haven't seen that episode, go and watch that and share it and see if you can get it around, because I worked a lot on that episode. I'm not gonna lie, I did a lot of work on that. I did a lot of work on that, and Jess did fantastic. She had to work with a script that wasn't written with her in mind, ad-libbed how to get herself into it, and made it up how to do it. Just incredible stuff, like absolutely incredible. I look back on it, and it's actually funnier just because she ad-libbed what to do with the incorrect name being on the, like, just fantastic, absolutely fantastic, amazing. I am so impressed with Jess. Like, seriously, I'm blown away by how amazing that was. Anyway, yeah, so I don't get days. Yeah, no, like Bree's saying. Yeah, Bree, the exact amount orbit around the sun. Yeah, no, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I really don't. But I don't really understand, like I was saying, I'll go see my brother a few days after Christmas. It doesn't really matter to me. The significance of that day is not something that, for some reason, my brain is sort of, it has been imparted on my brain. It really hasn't. I don't know why. It just doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. I get that it matters to others, though. I understand that. I get the concept that that day matters to other people. It just doesn't matter to me. But we, a lot of the time, things don't matter to us, or we're not impacted the same as other people. But I think it is sort of morally correct. I'm just going to center myself here, so I'm just thinking. But it is significant that we look out for other people and what they want as well. Not the asshole, but I'd just let him go. Making friends as an adult is hard. It actually is. It actually is. I find it incredibly difficult, and sometimes takes a tiny sacrifice in your personal life to build that foundation. Yeah, I get you. Yep. So yeah, definitely. I think, and I'm gonna go to the comments now. Let's see, what have we got? Whoop, doo, 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 doo. Um, seems like moving it isn't a big deal, but it's a big deal. He didn't even ask. What do you mean he didn't ask? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Ems. Because he did ask. That was a thing. He invites him to go. Um, he asked if it'd be okay if with us rescheduling our tradition to another weekend. So he definitely did ask, and then he said he ended up agreeing keep the weekend for our tradition. So I'm not sure. Um, he did ask to move it, so I'm not sure. Maybe you missed that bit, but I don't think that's right. Oh, that's so sweet. I didn't see that comment. Oh, deviant, that's awesome. Like, yeah, absolutely. I hope that I hope that it was a wonderful sort of proposal and laugh, cries, just all the joy. All the joy, deviant. I'm so happy for you. Um, the wife is saying she may feel threatened by the husband friends. Who cares what weekend they go? Well, maybe not. We don't know that. It she could just. You're right. She could. I don't really see that though. I just see it as she's really stuck in this sort of we've always done that, so we should keep doing it kind of thing. And I don't. I'm not a traditionalist. I don't see the point in that, but some people are like that. Some people are very slow to embrace change, mama. I know you embrace change very quickly because you will change your online persona in like 2 seconds flat. But some people, and I've noticed this when working for various sort of companies, that you really like when you change something that has been policy for years and years and years, there will be a segment of people who will act like the sky is falling in. Even if it's a good change, even if it benefits everybody, they will act like they are so resistant to change. I personally like to embrace change, or at least try to embrace change. It's very difficult, though. It is difficult, and it may just be that person. I'm not 100% sure that I can be convinced of that. Bullying your spouse isn't into getting your way isn't a great ending. Correct. Yes, I would agree. I would agree. Yeah. That will breed resentment. That's all it's going to do. Sorry, I don't care how good a person you are. If you're being forced into doing something that you don't want to do, it's going to breed resentment. I'd rather see them learn a lesson and communicate better than one of them win. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Uh, Brainless Steel says one could be moved and one couldn't. Simple choice. Yeah, yeah. To me, it is. To you, it is. To them, to her, obviously, it's not. And we've got to be cognizant of that. We've got to say, hey, yeah, it seems simple to us, but there's more going on underneath the surface, kind of thing. Talk and try to keep the lines of communication open. Absolutely, Jedi, as always. Yeah, communication, communicate, communicate, communicate. Even if it feels like, feelings are always valid, right? And I've always said this, feelings are always valid. So people say, hey, you shouldn't feel that way. That isn't a helpful statement to make. Now, the reason why you're feeling that way could be invalid, right? It could be that your line of thinking that led to that thought isn't actually a rational or correct line of thinking. For instance, if a woman is saying, oh, well, I think you're cheating on me, I feel jealous, I feel neglected. Now, the line of thinking that, oh, he's cheating on me, that might not be the correct line of thinking, but the feeling itself is valid. So there's probably a reason why she feels neglected and betrayed for some reason, right? So the feeling's valid. It may not be the line of thinking that's correct. So we want to sort of affirm the feeling and say, hey, that feeling is valid. even if the reason for it may not be. You might be incorrect that he's cheating on you, but there is that feeling is there for a reason. And that's the way I go about sort of validating my partner's feelings, even if I think that they're wrong about how they, why they're feeling it, the line of thinking that came up with why they're feeling it. The feeling is valid. Ember, I think of a lot of us equals humans. Yeah, those humans, mate. Easily fall into unintentionally emotionally pressure the other. That's why it's so important to take those extra breaths and time to weigh things out. Absolutely. Yep. I think we do unintentionally pressure each other. And I think that happens all the time. Absolutely. I'm just looking for your comments. Okay, that's about it. I'm not sure what that is. Now it sucks is a trope for a reason. I'm not sure what that is. He doesn't come across as doing this to be controlling. It's an emotional reaction. Yeah, I would agree. I think it's just I think she's built up in her mind this structure of tradition of we always do this at this time, and he doesn't have the same framework sort of built up. And yeah, absolutely. It was all the good stuff. I just nodded like a maniac before I realized maybe it's a good thing to actually say the word so he's not mistaking it for having aneurysm. Yeah. Look, my wife, I proposed to in a sort of a carry forest. A carry is a type of tree that grows in the Western Australia. It was a carry forest with all these birds flittering around and stuff. Just absolutely gorgeous location. And she just broke down and cried. I felt so bad, but it was good crying. It was good crying, but yeah, she was absolutely. I sprung it on her. I kept it a total secret, did not tell her, and just sprung it on her. She was so surprised. I was so sneaky about it too. I wanted it to be a surprise. And she just broke down and cried. She was so happy. I was so happy. Everyone was so happy. I hope you're happy. I really do. And we've got to cherish those moments. Happiness is kind of fleeting. It's like one of those things where it will come and go. Like we will take happiness from something and then, it just filters away. And that's okay. But just enjoy those moments. And Deviant, I hope you enjoy those moments because they are absolutely wonderful. And I'm so glad for you. Killer trees? No, it's what's in the trees you have to worry about, left-handed Jedi. It's what's in the trees you have to worry about. Update 3 after a few hours. I want to thank everyone who shared their opinion. You're welcome. I'm hope we can grow from it. After reading the comments and giving myself some time to reflect, I decided to talk with my husband again. I told him I felt bad for how things went earlier. This is what I'm talking about. Instead of going to Reddit, and it's fine to go to Reddit because, hey, just having random people's opinions who have no emotional investment whatsoever can be helpful. But she's also going back to talk to him. Like some of these posts, I feel like, why aren't you talking to the other person? Why are you like putting it up on Reddit, not talking to them? It's weird. It's weird. I felt bad for how things went earlier. I didn't mean to make him feel like I'm keeping him on a leash. Okay, well, I mean, that's I don't remember leashes coming up, but okay. I also explained why our little tradition feels so special to me, and I've always seen our weekend as that weekend as our weekend. He admitted he hadn't realized how much it meant to me. There you go. He didn't know. He didn't know. He said he'd been excited about the trip with his friend because it was the first time in a long while that someone reached out to him like that, and he didn't want to let that slip away. We both agreed we could have handled the conversation better, and neither of us wanted the other to feel like their feelings didn't matter. As said earlier, we decided to stick with our tradition this year as planned, and my husband is going to plan a weekend trip with his friend in January when the holidays are over. Okay, cool. Cool, you found a compromise. Okay. So it wasn't that weekend wasn't the only time he could do a trip with his friend. Okay. That's cool. All right. That's the compromise they came with. No worries. Um that's good. They at least they went back and talked to one another. At least they went back and talked to one another. That's good. And nobody did the right thing for 50% as the winner. Yeah, you may be right. You may be right. Oh, yeah, the trope is they change it, now it sucks. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, see, I mean, not change isn't necessarily bad. In fact, I think that change is the only thing you can actually rely on in life. It is the only inevitable thing. Things will change. That will happen. You have no control over that. So I think learning to embrace change is a good thing. Doesn't mean you have to embrace every change. It just means like things will definitely change. That will happen. That's the way things are. Okay. Am I the arsehole for being mean to my wife for buying me a trip to a Cancun restaurant for my 40th birthday? Yes. What? I who who is mean to someone to buying them a trip to Cancun? Does he like hate Cancun? Okay, I got to read this one. This one's just weird. I buh. Oh yeah, absolutely. And yeah, and change can be hard. It can be hard to embrace, but yeah. My wife and I have been together for 20 years, married for 15 of those years. That being said, my wife has been well aware that I do no like traveling. I do not like traveling. I don't mind road trips, a state or two away, but that's it. I hate flying and I really don't like surprises. Okay. These are facts that I've made known for decades at this point. My wife, however, in the past 5 or 6 years, has really started itching to travel because her friends are traveling. Well, you don't know why she's itching to travel. Some people just get that bug. Some people just want to see the world, especially if you're getting into your 40s. It's sort of past your 40s and into your 50s. There may be things that are more difficult to do. So I do know a lot of people my age that want to go do, walk the wall of China or go to Peru and sort of go to oh, I can't remember the name of the place. Amber, help me out. What's that place in Peru with the old temples and stuff? Chichen Itza? Chichen Itza, I think it is. I think it's called. It's like a place up in the mountains in Peru, very old sort of Maya temples and things like that. Um, yeah, so there's a few things that are a lot easier when you're sort of under 40. Um, Machu Picchu. Yeah, that's it. Machu Picchu. I think I'm thinking of the wrong thing. Machu Picchu. Yeah. So thank you so much, Ems. Thank you. Nazca lines. Yeah. 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 Okay. All right. Um, I'm not sure they're temples, mate, but sure, that's okay. They're pictures of monkeys. Yeah. Anyway, there's some things that are just easier when you're under 40. So some people I know hit 40 and they go, look, I got to get out and see this stuff while I'm not, you know, 59 and my knees have gone and I can actually walk this trail or do this thing or climb this mountain. I understand. Back in August, she kept insisting that our family get passports. During this whole process, I repeatedly say that I don't think it's necessary because I hate traveling. But I relent when she says we may take the kids out of the country at some point in the future. In September, she told me to take November 21st and 22nd off from work. Of course, when I asked why, she refused to tell me. After some pressing, she says she surprised me with a trip to a resort in Cancun for my 40th birthday. At this point, I'm floored, not in a good way. I ask why she did this, reiterate that I hate flying, say I wanted a simple dinner at my favorite restaurant and a video game for my birthday, etc. How old is this guy? 40th. Okay. Okay. Is that your wife or your mother? Okay. A video game for my birthday. She starts to get watery-eyed, says she sold a bunch of her work stocks to fund the trip, and I relent and say we can go to Cancun. Yeah, yeah, no, you're right. It's a different one that I'm thinking of. Yeah, it seems very, very petulant to me. You know, wow, like holy crap. Wow. In October, our dog gets cancer. Treatment is freaking expensive, so I tell my wife to return the trip tickets. She says she can't because it's too late to get her money back. When I asked how much she paid, it's damn near $2,000. Uh, this gets me upset all over again because at this point we're looking terrible financially. We're paying vet bills. Our downstairs AC unit broke. I had to be completely replaced for $7,000 back in August, and she's splurging on a Cancun trip. I get pissed and tell her if she had 2K to blow on a trip, she could have asked me what I actually wanted, got me a PS5. What the hell? Some dinner at my favorite spot and put the rest towards our mounting debts. Again, she starts with a shaky voice and watery eyes, so I suck it up and sell a huge portion of my retro game collection to keep us afloat. November, it really starts to hit me that this trip isn't even for me. She likes to travel, she likes to fly, she wants to go to Cancun, and my birthday is the perfect excuse to go. So I've been building up resentment about being broke with December fast approaching. We have 2 kids, one of which is born right before Christmas, so our funds are going to be tight from needing to buy presents. The whole thing comes off as her being financially irresponsible and using my birthday as an excuse to do some traveling to make her happy. This past week, I've been kind of a dick to her because I'm starting to build resentment here and I haven't spoken to her in a week. Wow, okay, this is your wife and you haven't spoken to her in a week. Dude, at this point, I mean, I hate to stretch the finances, but a marriage counseling may seem like a better. You haven't spoken to her for a week. I also randomly went out with friends and rubbed it in her face that they actually take me places that I want to go. Wow, okay. I'm seriously considering buying her a PS5 and taking her to my favorite dinner spot for her birthday in April. Wow, okay. Okay. So, booked her in September. The AC went out in August. So the AC went out before the trip did. We do travel. We go on family vacations every year. We've gone on several cruises in the country in the past 10 years. We've taken plane trips to Orlando and Vegas as well. If she wants to travel on her birthday, I should absolutely go. She wants a birthday celebrator. One of the big issues I have with the actions being done on my birthday. Okay. Yes, I have hobbies. I have a strict budget for these hobbies. And since the kids were born, I've cut down drastically to make shave are able English. Since my kids were born, I've cut down drastically to make shave are able to put money, make sure they are able to put money in their college savings accounts every month since birth. My family is not neglected. I spend a ton of time with the kids. Wow, this guy just seems in general really angry. I feel like I have to reiterate this. I'm down to travel outside the country with my wife on special occasions that celebrate her and our relationship. I would absolutely suck it up for her. I've done so in the past. My issue that this is being done on my birthday. So then he's not opposed to it at all. It's just, you know, this sounds really unhealthy, to be honest with you. I mean, you're basically going, hey, she gave you a present that you didn't really want. That seems to be the yeah. I think that and then like this guy's an absolute asshat. I mean, did she get it just for her? I don't think so. I would understand if she got tickets for her and not you. Yeah, no, I would totally get that, being upset if she just bought a trip for herself and didn't include you, but she's including you. I don't Poster. So I know from having sort of done a bit of therapy that we talk about sort of modes in schema, and modes are basically they're almost like um other people that live inside you, other versions of yourself. I mean, it's a bit complex, but um there's these other sort of coping modes that we have towards things that make us emotional. So we have and the mode that we want to try to be in is the healthy adult. That is the rational, reasonable, understanding adult that we have developed into over the course of our life. That um, sort of, you know, responsible, mature, able to reasonably and rationally discuss things. That's really where we want to be when emotional things come up. There's all these other modes that can occur, though. You have things like the playful child, which is sort of your childlike self coming out. But you also have the petulant child, which is everybody has this, and sort of accepting that side of yourself is really important. That when you don't get your way, or something annoys you, or something irritates you, you stamp your foot and say, no, I don't like that kind of thing. That petulant child comes out. We want to try and work through that and get to that healthy adult place to say, hey, I dislike this, but it is something I'm going to have to accept, or, and get to that rational place of thinking. Hey, AJ, good to see you. I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever, mate. I feel like I have not talked to you in forever, and I really ought to. That's something that I would like to do. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, so there's other ones, for instance, like the vulnerable child is definitely one of those things that we have to keep in mind. Um, that's when we when we're feeling down and we're feeling like um very, very sensitive, and we're over emotional. Those feelings are coursing through us, and we're the sensitive child. We have to protect that side of us. And so you can sort of have to go into the adult mode and soothe that unhappy place where you feel down and upset, and things aren't sort of going your way, when you're feeling vulnerable. Another one to avoid is I think they changed the name, but it used to be called the critical parent. Now, the critical parent is that voice that tells you you're an idiot, you're worthless, you can never do this or never do that. And the critical parent is something that I think everybody can resonate with. We hear it a lot. Oh, I did this, and it's absolutely terrible. It's not going to work out for me. I don't know why I'm even trying. It's so bad, kind of thing. It's critical, and it's not helpful. And sort of pushing back on that with your reasonable adult, sort of saying, hey, it's okay. It's enough to do my best. And even if it fails, that's okay. It really doesn't change anything. It really isn't the um the horrible thing that this side of your brain is making it. Why do we have these sides? No idea. No idea. Why do we have all these little voices in our head telling us mixed things, kind of thing? No idea. They seem to be remnants of development stages that we have gone through, probably for some evolutionary reason that just doesn't make any sense anymore. But being aware of them is really important. That and sort of forgiving yourself for using these modes. Like, everybody is petulant at times. We go, no, that terrible, that sucks. And being aware of that, that's okay. It's okay. Everybody does it. Like, it's just one of the modes that every human can be part of. Okay. What's Reddit got to say about this fine, fine gentleman? Like, seriously, not all gamers are like this. Can I just put this out? Not all gamers are like this. Okay, I feel like I've got I've got to stand up for gamers here. Not all gamers are going to be given a trip to a resort and go, "No, you should have gotten me a PlayStation 5." You know, like, come on, that's just a gross stereotype. No, no, not all gamers are like this. It's totally cool. We're actually quite cool, believe me. Sometimes. Everybody sucks here. It's been 20 years of catering to your extreme dislike of travel. Your wife is clearly sick of it. I don't know that that's true. I think that that's yeah, I'm not 100% sure that that's true. It was a giant asshole move of her to use your birthday as an excuse. You're right to be angry, but continuing to hold resentment is going to build into a divorce. So stop, take a breath, tell your wife you'll do a Cancun trip and even try to enjoy yourself. But from now on, when she wants to travel, she needs more transparent about being for her. She can go on girl trips with her friends, take the kids on a cool mummy kid trip, stuff like that. You can stay home and have some daddy kid time or general kid free time for video games. There are compromises available, but you two need to talk about it. If their compromise is always not traveling overseas, then she has been compromising a hell of a lot more than he has. Yeah, probably. And Cancun is barely even overseas. Going to a Mexican resort is easy as traveling out of a country gets. Outside of North America, yeah. No, it probably is in the United States. I probably. My question is, after your HVAC started going out, is that air conditioning? How many Lego sets did you go and buy? Did he buy Lego sets? Is this person just throwing shade at the gamer? I think he's just throwing shade at this point. I don't think he's mentioned Lego anywhere. But yeah, I'm getting that sense, like, your idea of fun seems to be PS5 and Legos. Yes, you told your wife you don't like travel or leave the house from the looks of it. So she tried to get you interested in traveling by taking you on a trip completely centered around you. Her trying to share something she likes in a way that's all about you and centered on the two of you relaxing and spending adult time together sounds reasonably and honestly like a last-ditch effort to find some common ground. Your ongoing months-long tantrum is childish at best. Well, I do agree with a lot of what this guy's saying. When she started crying the first time, reacted poorly, it should have been included in that she really thought she was giving you a good gift instead of taking a deep breath and realizing not everything is about you. You've chosen to rub her nose in your abundant disapproval over and over. Do you even like her? Wow. Okay, Reddit. Just yeah. That's yeah. Okay. For a start, I think this person is sort of I don't sit around and watching you play video games and building Lego and be miserable for the rest of her life or file for divorce. If I were her, I know which way your mean-spiritedness would be pushing me. You're the asshole. Look, this is really harsh. So you don't have to have all the same interests in a marriage, but you probably do have to have some things in common that you can enjoy together. I'm a gamer. Lynn really isn't. My wife really isn't. But we do both enjoy movies. We do both enjoy the same sort of music. We do both enjoy, sort of the same things like going outdoors and taking walks and things like that. We do enjoy the same things. It's just not everything has to be identically enjoyed. I'll enjoy my games. Lynn will do other stuff. She likes writing. She likes other things. That's okay. That's okay. I can go do my thing. She can go do hers. But the important thing is that we hold things in common that we can sort of come together and share. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be absolutely overlapping. And I think this person may be missing that maybe there are some things that they do have in common. And stuff like, well, we have kids together. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about activities that you both enjoy and can both, share time doing with one another. That's fine. like, you know, my wife and I both enjoy board games. We both enjoy we both go to spoken word stuff from various people that we like to see. I don't like, she likes some artists that I don't go to the same concerts that she does. I play games she doesn't. You know, but that's okay. That's okay. We don't have to be identical, but we do have time together to enjoy the things that we both enjoy. And that's all right. Wow, your resentment is palatable. Everybody sucks here. Yeah, I kind of, yeah. I don't think the wife has really done that much wrong. It just sounds like she has gotten him something that he really doesn't enjoy. I mean, I can look. So the whole point is that she probably believed that taking a trip together would be good for you both. You'd both enjoy it. I mean, it sounds like they're having problems in the marriage. She probably wanted to reconnect. I can't really fault her for that, to be honest with you. Sort of spending money on the trip, I can see how that must be annoying. Maybe she prioritizes your relationship. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? What have you guys put down? If someone brought me a trip to Cancun, I'd be like, nah, I'm good. To be honest with you, I've got no idea what Cancun is like. As far as I know, it's a Mexican resort town. I probably wouldn't be over the moon, but I would probably go, okay, cool. You know, I wouldn't be partying it up. I would probably, you know, spend days in the pool and stuff, but I don't know. I'd take a trip to Cancun, but sneak off to Guadalajara. Hara. That J is a H, isn't it? In sort of Spanish. Guadalajara to visit, hide in the basement of friends there. That's fair. That's fair. Midlife crisis, teenage relapse. It does seem that way, doesn't it? It really does. Sounds like he's unable to handle change. Maybe. He might just be antisocial or a homebody. That's true. That's true. It makes me worried that she is obviously maybe a lot more gregarious than he is. That would worry me a little, I guess. But, you know, I think at this point where you're not speaking to your wife for 2 weeks, you may need someone to mediate, like a counselor, like a marriage counselor would be really good. Oh, she wants to go to Mexico and she's using his birthday as justification. Yeah, that's fair. I get you. That may be the case, sure. He certainly seems to think so. Yeah, that's my guess. Okay. He can't complain if it's for him after all, yet here we are. Well, yeah, I mean, that's a really good way to build. If that's what she is doing, that will absolutely build resentment. Yeah, he's being a bit of an asshole. Yeah, I kind of agree. Why don't spouses ever talk and be honest with each other? It's very difficult to be vulnerable to somebody, even somebody you're in a relationship, even somebody you've been in a relationship for 20 years, especially if so the problems come occasionally when you see your spouse as somebody that is against you for some reason, and then being vulnerable to somebody that's against you is very difficult. If you're seeing them as a enemy or a adversary is a better word for it, an adversary, it's very hard to be open and vulnerable to that person because you know, people are worried they might get hurt. He's worried he might get hurt. She's worried she might get hurt. It's very difficult. It is difficult. What? Go to counseling, communication, dude. Absolutely. Phantom sounds like a great relationship to me. Well, it's getting petty. Yeah. Yeah. And the resentment will build on both sides. I mean, she's probably like, oh, I got him a trip to Cancun and he just treated me like crap. So, you know, from both sides, and it's never going to be worked out by escalating things. Absolutely not. Um, there's no solo pre-marriage counseling. Okay. AJ says, be nice to your significant other. Don't try to make up for being a dick with monetary gifts. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I totally agree. Oh, you're losing in that's Age of Empires, I believe. So, oh dear. Oh dear. Left-hand Jedi, if you had the same interests, you'd drive each other crazy. Yeah, and sort of you see these relationships which are codependent, like they cannot do anything without one another, kind of thing. And that seems to be a bit of a problem when you're that codependent that you can't go off to a concert by yourself, and that's seen as a betrayal or not acceptable. You can't go and visit somebody without them, and that's codependency, and it's very, very bad. um they say travel broadens the mind. My only big vacation was 2 weeks in Ireland. Okay, well, Ireland's a gorgeous place. Apparently, I've never been there, but I have been to England, which is just lovely. Okay. Let's see what the poll says. Poll says, if I can find the right window, everyone did the wrong thing. Yeah, I think I would, if she did indeed like push the Cancun trip for herself, then I'd agree with you. If he's mistaken about that, then the poster's just a complete jerk, to be honest with you. Hour past bedtime. Well, don't stay up on my account, my friend. That's okay. Antisocial or a homeboy? Yeah, no, he was antisocial or a gangster. I suppose those things do mesh, don't they? They absolutely do mesh. So that tracks. That tracks. Maybe they were a homeboy. Is that a homeboy, a gangster? I don't know. I don't know my black American sort of black African American lingo at all. I'm sorry. I'm Australian. All I can do is swear. That's all I know. It's all I've been taught. It's all I've been taught. Next up, Classic Choice 9766. Are these like real life trolley problems? Are we doing trolley problems? I saw somebody doing absurd trolley problems. If you haven't done that, that's hilarious. Who was that? That was Niddy, wasn't it? Doing the absurd trolley problems? Who was it? It was somebody. It might have been Missing Mod and Big Bad Mama doing trolley problems. I love a trolley problem. I really wanted to join in, but it was way too late. So I totally get it. Am I the arsehole for not taking my stepdaughter on vacation? Depends. Depends on your relationship with them. It depends. Maybe. I mean, depends what the reasons are. If you're doing it just to be sort of favor your other kids, yeah, probably. If you're doing it because you don't have a healthy relationship, then maybe not. You did? You did a trolley problem stream a few months ago. Oh, nice. I didn't see that. I've got to look for it. 30 female, have been married to my husband Tom, 35 male, for 2 years. We have a 3-year-old son and a 4-year-old daughter together. He has a 15-year-old daughter from a previous relationship. Okay. The custody agreement is every other weekend. Our son and daughter have never been to Disney. Oh, God, Disney. Disney, how do you guys feel about Disney? I don't know. I'm not like Disney World or Disneyland or Disney whatever. It doesn't really interest me. Like, it isn't something that I go, oh, well, I'd have to go there. I don't know. Is it the most magical place on earth? Do you guys hate it? Like, what's your view of Disney? Because I just have this sort of just this. I don't like it. I don't like the company. I don't like the idea of the theme park, like this massive packed a theme park kind of. It just nothing appeals to me about Disney whatsoever. Maybe some of the movies, you know, the cartoon movies, but nothing else. Maybe. You did absurd pros. Oh God, with Lupin, Phantom. Why would you do that? Can you imagine Lupin? Nope. No. Okay, gotcha. It's kind of meh. No, that's fair. That's fair. I don't know. They hype it, but I just don't think, you know, I just it doesn't appeal to me. Our son and daughter never been to Disney. So this year we are surprising them with a trip. My husband, myself, and the 2 kids will be going to Disney for 5 days. My stepdaughter has been to Disney 6 times, so we didn't think she'd want to go since we have things to do the little ones can enjoy. Well, I mean, that's a massive presumption. Like, just assuming that your 15-year-old daughter will not want to go to Disneyland. Is that a massive presumption? Am I right in that? Am I wrong in that? You know, like if you have a 15-year-old saying, well, she obviously won't want to go to Disney. Maybe that since you have things the little ones can enjoy. I mean, wouldn't a 15-year-old around be helpful if you do have 2 kids to look after? I don't know. Maybe I'm just more practical, but I'm sort of like, well, you know, not that you want to put all the responsibility on them, but they can certainly help. I don't know. The trip is planned for a week. She is going with her friends to a ski resort. My husband and I paid for half the trip and gave her some spending money to have fun. Okay, so she's going to a ski resort. That's nice, I guess. Okay. Gee, first world problems, I guess. Her mum asked my husband if he would be able to bring her the morning of the trip to the friend's house so all the girls can leave together. He let her know he couldn't since we are getting on a plane that morning to Disney. Her mum said we obviously don't take care of her mum said we obviously don't take care about my stepdaughter since we're not taking her, and has made my stepdaughter upset thinking we didn't want her to go. Well, I kind of oh, okay, fair enough. No, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. Thinking we didn't want her to go. We don't take care about my stepdaughter since we're not taking her. Okay. So her mother, the stepdaughter's upset thinking we didn't want her to go. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's the reason why. We've tried explaining we didn't think she'd want to go on the young kids' rides, and we can't split up with her because the little ones are in the What? Where did you learn English? God damn! This is hard. We can't split up with her because the little ones are in the try to run in the opposite directions phase. Okay, I get that now. You could have put quotations around that. The try to run in opposite directions phase. Okay, gotcha. We've offered to cancel her ski trip and bring it with us, but she wants to do both, and it's not fair for her to miss the trip with her friends. We just want some unbiased opinions. Yeah, well, you probably should have told her that you were thinking of planning a Disney trip. I don't know why you just assume she didn't want to go. That seems sort of a bit horrible, but at the same time, she can't do both. If the trip's on the same date, like why would you let her do both? I don't. Yeah, I think that she should have been asked, like, just say, hey, we've got this trip coming up. You're going away with your friends. Would you rather go with your friends or go with us on the family trip? I think that's more than reasonable. I don't see a problem with that. But yeah, it kind of maybe hurt her that she wasn't asked. Oh, hey, Beck. How you doing? Good to see you. Hey, Exy Music. Good to see you as well. I didn't mention that, but thank you for letting me know. Look, I don't know anything about North American slang. As I said, Australians are only taught how to swear. That's all we're taught. That's all we know. That's all we know. Okay. Let me get... And boy, are we taught how to swear. Like seriously, I don't know of any person that can outswear an Australian. It's just incredible. It's just incredible. Should the poster have asked the daughter-in-law, because it's the daughter-in-law, to go to Disney? Is it Disney World? Disney? Yeah, I don't care. Disney Place. I'm just going to put place because I don't know which one it is. I think it was Disney World. I know that one's in Florida and one is in California. Am I getting that right? One's in California. Oh, don't even try, Amber. You will regret it. You will absolutely regret it. Don't even try. I have. They're tame. They're tame. They're tame. No, you're all tame. Australia's where it's at. Australia where it's at. Look, without animals, in order to alleviate the frustration, fear, and quite frankly, anger at our deadly animals, we have cultivated a swearing culture that puts everybody to shame. Everybody to shame. So, like, I mean, ordinarily I'd say, hey, the daughter's being a bit childish, but she's only 15. You know what I mean? Like, she's only 15. And it's weird that you're sort of like, well, it's my daughter-in-law. I kind of, I dislike the way that she's explicitly referring to her son and daughter, and that's her daughter-in-law. It kind of others her. I would love it if she could just see that girl as her daughter. Yeah. Only 2 minutes. Only 2 minutes. Wow, that's rookie numbers. You got to pump those numbers. That's rookie numbers. That's rookie numbers. Look, I play Dark Souls games, okay? My swearing can go on for days. Days. Probably not that long, but I'm over exaggerating, but you know. It would be nice if she just referred to that as her daughter. That would be nice. I mean, I'm not saying that's I mean, she's been with her for 2 years. I don't feel like her and her daughter-in-law are particularly close as well. But sort of just assuming that a 15-year-old would not want to go to Disney for whatever reason because she's been before, that doesn't seem like a safe assumption to me. That does not seem like a safe assumption in the slightest. Like, in the slightest. I don't know why you would assume that. And it does seem like she's being a prick for just going, well, you know, she won't want to go. Could it be that she feels alienated from the rest of the family? Could that be the reason why she's upset? Like I said, and think about this. Well, I mean, yeah, military. Yeah, gotcha. Military cussing. Sure. I mean, there's a reason why they say curse like a sailor. Like, there's a reason for that. Anyway, like the feeling is valid. Whatever feeling the 15-year-old is valid. The reason for it may not be, right? So the thinking behind it may not be valid, but she obviously feels alienated from her other family. I can only imagine what this kid is going through. I was about the same age when my parents divorced. And it's a rough time. Like, I think I don't think this person is doing the right thing. She needs to be more cognizant of, like, these people just talking, oh, well, you know, she's with the other person on custody and things like that. Do you know how hard that is for a kid? Do you know how hard it is? You don't really feel like you have a home at one place or the other because they've both gotten on with their lives? Did they have any empathy for what this kid is going through? Like, I just feel like they're just not understanding that she probably feels like her mother has moved on with somebody else and her father has moved on with somebody else, and she doesn't belong in either place anymore. It's really hard. Oof. It's rough. It really is rough, and I really think that they should be a bit. Whoop, sorry, that's my bad. Really a bit more sensitive to what she's going through. I'm just going to go through the comments, see what I can find. Everyone sucks here, some more than others. You only not talking through it beforehand. Your husband bears much more responsibility for this, though, because it's his child. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Like, you marrying somebody with a child, you kind of, I think some responsibility comes with that. But fair, it is his child, so yeah. Stepdaughter for being, it's not fair about not being able to go to Disney and on a ski trip. Okay. Yeah, but she's only 15. And she probably would hate the Disney trip kid for little kids and be a pain, speaking as a former 15-year-old girl. Yeah, I don't know, though. I don't know what she's like, so I don't know. Mostly, though, stepdaughter's mother for making this whole thing and likely winding up her daughter to be upset about it. Really, how do you know that? Made my stepdaughter upset thinking we didn't want her to go. Yeah, okay. So her mum is making her think that they didn't want her to go. That's terrible. Yeah. Don't weaponize your kids against your exes, please. Do not weaponize your kids against your exes. That actually sucks. That actually sucks. You planned a family trip without including a member of your family and without even telling the member of your family about it. You're the asshole Dave. Yeah, I kind of agree. You didn't think a 15-year-old would want to go to Disney. I call BS. You knew she would. Otherwise, you would have asked or told her and checked your assumptions. To be clear, I'm using the plural you and your husband is the much bigger asshole here for allowing his daughter to be excluded. I kind of agree. Oh, I didn't think the 15-year-old. Anyone know what the Mickey's character name was in Film Fantasia? No? Wasn't he like a magician? Like it was Merlin the Mouse or something? I have no idea. Please, I share. I am the oldest stepdaughter. My siblings are significantly younger than me. I would assume my stepmother hated me at 15 if this happened. Yeah. I kind of would as well. Yeah. Your logic makes sense to adults. To a 15-year-old, my stepmom planned a vacation I couldn't go on because she doesn't like me. You're the arsehole. Should have said, hey, stepdaughter, we want to take the kids to Disney, but want to go during the spring holiday you're going skiing on. You can join us or still go skiing, which would you prefer? You made the choice for her without including her, even though she is part of the family. You keep saying a family vacation. You're missing part of this family. Yeah. I kind of agree. I kind of agree. Well, Exy Music, the wonderful thing is Google is right at your fingertips. You're the arsehole along with your husband. Yeah, I kind of agree with them. I think that sort of and I don't know why she's doing this, why she's sort of going, okay, I'm not going to include this 15-year-old. I think she should be way more sensitive to how a 15-year-old would feel in a broken home being passed back and forward in a custody agreement. Like, sort of even the fact that she sort of excludes her in writing as stepdaughter. I mean, I know she has to be precise because she's getting it across, but I don't know. I just feel like she's prioritizing her biological daughters and not, this poor 15-year-old. I really feel actually, I mean, I get she's going on a skiing trip. She's obviously well off. She's doing fine, but that no ski trip will make up for your family treating you like crap. So Yeah, it was a Sorcerer's Apprentice. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how we got into Mickey. Oh, I know how we got into Mickey Mouse. Yeah, no. Well, why'd I even ask that question? Wow. Okay, what have you got to say? Let's see. I don't know. If your both parents want custody, that's hard, but at least you're wanted. If neither wants to take you, that can give you a complex. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, absolutely. Um, I don't think a fight over custody a child will see the same way though. But I think that um sort of even with custody, having gone through it myself, you can see it as neither home is your home. Neither place is your place. It's now sort of you're not, because you grew up with that together, and then it's not. It's very hard to describe. Um did anybody else have anything to contribute to the actual thing? Uh, I think it's the not even being asked that's the issue. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think that's a dick move, to be honest with you. I think that you should ask a 15-year-old, like, seriously. Okay. All right, I'll do one more. Just to yeah, I'll just do one more just to round it off. And I'm not sure what I'm rounding to. Maybe I'm working in base 3. Did you ever think about that? Um, you love addiction. Call me Ellie, just turned 20. Chuppa Chup, Florida. Angel, Chuppa Chup, Florida. Okay, I feel like that's, okay, okay. Um, am I the asshole here for not giving my sister my spot in a prestigious summer program? No, no. I mean, did we earn it? Did your sister earn it? Did your sister is it a moral standing? Like, did your sister actually get a better score than you, and you decided to, nepotism got you in there, and you decided to stand on your morals and give it to the person that deserves it? If not, then I don't get why you would have to do that. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get why that would be a thing. Oh, how did the poll turn out, by the way? Posty did the wrong thing. Yeah, no, I agree. I absolutely agree. We're on the same page. Yes. It is the presumption, but it still should be asked. Otherwise, the risk you won't feel included in the family, feeling less of the kids that they share. That's not cool for a 15-year-old. Yeah, presumption on part of the parent. Yeah, absolutely. No, I 100% agree. I 100% agree. I don't know a 15-year-old that would go through that and go, oh, well, it was just, all of these considerations. That's really an adult way of thinking. I really agree with that Reddit poster that's saying, hey, at 15, you would just see it as, hey, they didn't even ask. And she may not have wanted to go. It's the fact that they didn't even ask. They didn't even see if she wanted to, which is just, I really feel for her. It's awful. I, 20 female, recently got accepted into a competitive summer program that I've worked hard for over the past 2 years. It's something I put hours into building my portfolio, attending workshops, and sacrificing a lot of my free time. My sister, 23 female, who's 3 years older sister, who has never shown any interest in this field before, also applied on a whim but didn't get in. When she found out I was accepted, she asked me to give her a spot because she thinks it would look better on her resume and that I could just apply again next year. Is that the way it works? Like, if you're accepted for a program, you can't just go, oh, well, I've got a mate that wants to do it instead. Can I put them in it? Like, that's not how these things work. I told her no, explaining this is something I've worked towards for years and I'm not giving it up because she wants it now. She called me selfish. Really? and told our parents, who are now pressuring me to be the bigger person and let her have the opportunity since I'm younger and have more time to try again. I'm standing my ground, but everyone's making me feel like a terrible person for prioritizing something I've worked so hard for. Am I the asshole? No, I don't get it. This is weird. Like, you can't just, like, if I go and I work hard for, say, a networking program, right? And I want to learn how to, I don't know, do sysec, right? System security. And I build up all of this knowledge about system security, go in, they evaluate me. That I show them that I have the rudimentary understanding of firewalls and gatekeeper programs and things like that, and then they accept me. I can't just go, well, you didn't accept this person over here, but I'm going to put them in my place. What is this going to be like a parent swap? Are they going to dress up as one another and pretend to be like? Is the sister going to pretend to be her? What the hell? She didn't get in. She didn't get it. Like, if she doesn't get in, if your sister doesn't get in, it's not like you can just go, but I got in, so I'm vouching for her. That's not how these programs work. Or if it is, they shouldn't be. Is this how these programs work? Look, she is in Florida. I will say that. She is in Florida. So maybe that's how summer programs work in Florida. Like, if one of your bros just goes, hey, my bro's good, mate, you just let in. Maybe that's how it works in Florida. I don't know. But my first initial reaction, and actually, like, I don't think this is even close. She's worked hard for it. No. Is this even real? Is this a real post? I've got doubts, to be honest with you. I'll put up the poll anyway, but I have doubts. Have given a position in I think I know how this one's going to turn out, to be honest with you. This is one of the clearest ones I've ever seen. Like, anything's possible in Florida. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see what the sorry, my bad. I'm clicking randomly again. Just blame me. Let's see what the Redditors have to say. Not the arsehole, your sister didn't meet the acceptance criteria, you did. Yeah, you think that's, I sister may be your parents' golden child, but she's not going to be the golden child for the program. Heck, is admittance even transferable? Wouldn't the program get to decide who has an open spot to go to? Yeah, exactly. The spot isn't even transferable, so it's not like I can just hand it over. Thanks for backing me up. Why would you be able to do that? Is your family insane? Not have common sense, or is this fake? All right. Yeah, people asking if it's fake. I kind of, the people running the program, you and your sister are not in chamber. They already rejected her. I don't know. I don't know about this one. Yeah, she's 23, not 53. Yeah, I mean, that's a thing. Like, people do change careers late in life. I know that my mother basically changed to psychology at a very late in life. It happens. It's okay. Yeah, I don't know about this one, but this is absolutely cut and dry. Well, that's an interesting question. Who is to blame for Florida? Disney, NASA, Harry Potter Land, SeaWorld, boomers? You would know better than me, quite frankly. You would know better than me. I think so. So from all I know about Florida is that it has a bro culture and people retire there. I think it's maybe people retiring there that's the problem. I'm going to blame the retirees. I think it's a retiree culture, so boomers. I'm going to blame the boomers, basically. L. Ron Hubbard. Yeah. Covert nepotism. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I agree with you, Sterling. It's good to see you as well. Okay, let's see your guys' comments. Not the arsehole, no discussion needed. Yeah, Beck's on board, not the arsehole. It's really good to see you, Beck. I felt bad after you got just a horrible treatment in I think it was Missing Mod's room. No, I call some serious BS on narrative. You have to be accepted, then you can't just show up saying, oh yeah, my sister gave her a spot. Yeah, and apparently the poster knows that, which is really weird because, why wouldn't the parents understand that? I mean, I'm prepared to give a lot of allowances because it's Florida, but I feel like if the parents have two brain cells to rub together, all the daughter has to say is, well, they won't just accept somebody. If I give it up, it'll just go to the next in line, the next best score or whatever. Like, it's not going to go to my sister. So I don't know whether this is real or not. Bad parents obviously favor the older daughter. Bad parenting. Yeah, bad parenting, absolutely. Sometimes you've got to have a boundary if people call you arsehole for it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you don't have to, if you've worked hard to make something successful, you shouldn't have to give it up because of somebody else's feelings. Like, you have to be kind to yourself as well. So, and part of that is taking the things that you have earned or receiving the things that you have earned because you have earned them and not giving them up for others. Yeah, bad parenting, bad humaning. Because if you had two brain cells to rub together, you would know that you can't just say, well, she's been rejected, but this person's been accepted. Let's just switch their places. That is not how anything in life works. It's not like you and your brother go to a job for an interview for a job. You get the job, they're rejected, but you say, hey, I'll give my brother the job instead. That's not how anything works. Like, that is not how anything works at all. The only way this is not the arsehole is the OP is leaving something out. Yeah, or it maybe is just fake. It maybe is just fake. I will say this one seems suspicious to me. It seems like a situation that is not a real situation. But people are saying Florida. This is about the previous one, Sterling Nash. I know of a situation, not a step family, but of a family vacation that excluded one child. After a tragedy the next year, I know those parents wish they had made a different choice. Yeah, sure. No, I get you, Sterling. We kind of sort of get tied down in, I need more income and I need more this. But it is really the close times with family and friends that is the thing that when you're at the end of your life, that is the thing that you'll wish you had more of. Anything's possible in Florida. I have serious doubts the narrative doesn't hold up to scrutiny at all. Yeah, I kind of agree, Deviant. I kind of agree. If this is the last one, I vote for it to be next to the last one. I'm not voting on this. No. When did this become a vote? This is a Australian autocracy right here. Sounds like covert nepotism. Yeah. Your mother became a science teacher at 42. Good stuff. Yeah, fantastic. Oh, YouTube censorship? Is YouTube censoring me? Am I being censored right now? What the hell, YouTube? I haven't even played any music. What are you doing? What's going on? Have I been censored? Florida started going downhill after hanging chads. Well, I mean, when I think Florida hit a low, I'm not sure if there's a lower point, but it certainly hit a low downward trend when it started banning books kind of thing. That was a bit of a, Florida, are you okay? I mean, it is Florida, but seriously, if it's legit on part of the post, then it solves some serious deep family issues. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. I mean, finishing on a consensus is a rare win. Absolutely. Let's look on the bright side. We finished on a consensus. This person is absolutely not an asshole, unless they are putting up fake posts. And in that case, they are absolutely assholes, because you shouldn't be doing that. Please don't do that. That's terrible. That's terrible. Okay, I can't see where I've been censored by YouTube, but the chat won't let us type some words. Really? Like, what are you typing in the chat? Is there a way I can turn that off? I can let you chat and type things that are slightly shady. Have I got some kind of thing on that? I don't see anything. I mean, there's no age restrictions or anything. Maybe YouTube just being weird. Okay, maybe. All right, well, that will do it for another AIMBOT. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I really appreciate it. My throat feels a bit hoarse, but I'm okay. I'll be all right. I do want to thank you for giving me your opinion, what you think, and I mostly agreed with you all for most of them, to be honest with you. I think that most of them were pretty consensus, and at least we didn't get any weddings this time round, which was really weird. Last week was weddings. It was all weddings, and it was really very strange. I suspected it was because the start of spring, start of autumn, people are, they're making weddings. They're making plans to marry. And I want to give a big shout out, big love to Deviant Outcast. Congratulations once again. I'm so happy for you. I am going to vicariously be celebratory and enjoy your joy and your happiness, because that is amazing and awesome, and I love it. I really hope that you're happy and well. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Everybody just send Deviant some love. And the poll. Yeah, Post did the right thing. Absolutely. 100% consensus on that. Absolutely. But don't forget, we all sit in different modes. We all have these different people that come out, these different modes of coping. We all have the petulant child that stamps its foot. We all have the critical parents that tells us we're crap, right? That we're terrible. We all have these different things that occur to us. It's okay. They're not a demon. They're not anything supernatural. They're just ways that your brain copes with things and evaluates things. What we want to do is try to be the healthy adult, the mature and responsible adult. So be kind to yourself. If we do slip into a petulant child or an angry child or something like that, it's okay. Everybody, we're all human. We all have these sides to us. It's okay. Be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. Thank you so much, everybody, and I will see you in the next one.